Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso at thewatchbox.com. It's in the description below. Your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see here on reviews or on our website, thewatchbox.com. Reach out to me directly at tmosso at thewatchbox.com. And today we are discussing the 2008 768-piece 42mm stainless steel limited edition Jaeger-LeCoultre Memovox Tribute to Polaris, an homage to the definitive 1968 dial variant of the original Polaris diving alarm. The timepiece features what would have in the day been considered the European dial, with Jaeger-LeCoultre rather than LeCoultre solo on the dial side. The watch, 42mm in stainless steel, is thick because of the historically authentic Plexiglas crystal. The watch, 200 meters water resistant, measures 17.5 millimeters thick, 47 millimeters lug to lug with a 22 millimeter spacing between the lugs. Let's throw it on my wrist real quick, get a look, see how it fits. Quite easily. At 47 millimeters across the wrist, it's not terribly broad, though you will note it is thick, though a lot of that is the crystal itself. The plexiglass will slide easily under a jacket cuff, maybe not the tightest dress sleeves, but you will find with a jacket it slips underneath, and it wears quite well as a dress watch, as it has a sort of inborn formality that is a byproduct of the vintage style. Now let's take a quick look. By the way, I'd recommend the watch for a wrist as small as 14 centimeters circumference. Let's take a quick look at the hardware and the software. The strap is a huge upgrade, as the timepiece has been specified with the Amvox R-Alarm 44mm titanium strap. So that model would have featured this embossed calfskin strap with a cross hatching inspired by carbon fiber, bolstering down its center to give it definition, and a contrasting stitch. On the underside, you can see a more natural calfskin, and this is a brand new Jaeger-LeCoultre factory strap, so you will have the pleasure of crimping it. And, well, you'll do so with this, another upgrade originally fitted to this watch, a full deployant clasp. The Tribute to Polaris came with a small, relatively cheap, and somewhat unworthy, historically inspired pin buckle. This is a full clasp, complete with satin finished buckle to avoid accidental droppage while donning or removing at bedside. Now you can see the case is quite true to history, as it features the mid case in thin profile, as you would have seen in the late 60s, squared off ends to the lugs, everything in high polish, and a little minimal bevel that expands from the mid case. You could see that plexiglass is remarkably thick and cambered, true to history and necessary to ensure real 200-meter diving capability for this watch. Roll over to the crown side, and you can see the watch features 3 crowns as with the original, and it works more or less the same. The original was equipped with the super compressor case built by Irvin Piquerez, and actually fitted to a huge number of brands, from IWC to Benrus to Longines to Jaeger-LeCoultre to Vulcain, but only Vulcain and JLC used the 3-crown case model because they used alarms. Now the center crown has a function related to the internal rotating bezel. It has no need to screw down, it's always accessible, and you can line the index with the minute hand, and now you have an impromptu 0 to 60 minute count-up timer. You can also see that, very true to history, it features the quadrille or quartered checkerboard pattern, also featured on the 1968 model. Now this is an alarm watch, so let's hear the alarm. Okay, enough of that. It will sound for about 25 seconds if you wind it fully, and yes, it will wake you up. The dial features what is sometimes described as the defect orange. The first 90 to 190 of these Tribute to Polaris models were supposed to feature a sort of shallow yellow photina, and it wound up coming across as orange. Now, these could be corrected during the service early in the ownership of the watch. Almost none of the owners chose to replace the dial because it is more desirable and collectible, and woe to those who had it swapped out for standard. Keep the defect dial. You'll note that the indices are orange, whereas the hands are more of a traditional Luminova. Of course, this being a Memovox, you wind using the crown. Let me just make sure we're not in the date change danger zone, and we were, so it's a good thing I did that. You wind the alarm using the crown. You also use the crown to set the quick set date when you turn clockwise, I should say, and then counterclockwise sets the alarm, and you can see when the hour hand jumps, that's when the alarm is activated if you want to demonstrate it for your friends. You have the bidirectional rotating inner bezel, and then you have a crown that allows you to stop the seconds of the caliber 956 and synchronize to a reference time. Turn it all over, and you can see there is a tribute to the original super compressor case on the back, which would have featured the same logo. Also note the 16 perforations on the case back, as it is hollow and designed to resonate, most notably when it's underwater. That's when you really get the benefit of that resonation chamber. You can see 20 meters water resistant inside, the case made by JLC, the movement made by JLC, caliber 956, 23 joules, unidirectional automatic winding ceramic rotor bearings in the winding rotor, free sprung for toughness. It features a 45-hour power reserve that beats away at 28,800 vibrations per hour with both quick set and, of course, hacking seconds. It has been through the Master 1000 Hours Control, which is a full chronometry test of the assembled watch, also testing winding efficiency, power reserve, water resistance. This timepiece is exceptional, a classic in its own right and a worthy homage. One might even say successor to the original Polaris 68. Email tmosso at thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details. And I'm back with the tribute to Polaris 68.